I've been training many athletes mentally for a number of years to improve their mental performance. I once again welcome you all. Many years ago, people had a mental block that a mile, which is simply 1.609 kilometers, could not be run in less than a minute, until in less than 3 or 4 minutes, until Roger Bannister did it. And later on in the same year, many people broke the record. They were able to run the mile in less than 4 minutes. Today, that may not be even the high school athletics timing. Okay. Now, many sports fans and the sports fraternity in India have this mental block, going by the records of Indians in the Olympics as far as athletics and swimming is concerned, that India is yet to win a medal in the Olympics as far as athletics and swimming is concerned. But there are many aspirants out there who are working very hard to disprove this belief. I have with me one such athlete, an international swimmer, who is working very hard, and he has dreams of making it to the Olympics and win a medal for India. Let me welcome Mr. Siva Sridhar, an international swimmer from Karnataka, India. He has been an elite swimmer representing India in many international meets. He is an international middle distance swimmer. He participates in the 200-400 meters individual medley and the 100 and 200 meters backstroke. Mr. Siva has won 188 state and national meet medals and 5 international medals. He was awarded the Best Sportsman of the Year in the year 2019 by the Karnataka Olympic Association. He has also trained in Durban, South Africa for 3 years. So, without much ado, let's get talking to Siva Sridhar. Welcome to the show, Siva. It's really nice having you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. It was really nice.
Thank you so much. Yes, you're most welcome. Siva, tell me, how did you take to swimming, and how old were you then when you started swimming?
First of all, I joined swimming at a very young age of 4.5. I think I was in UKG that time. So we had this swimming pool in our school itself. It's a 25-meter pool. It was a small pool. And actually, my dad and mom were looking for sports for me to join because I was a really hyperactive kid when I was young. So we wanted to channelize the energy in the right direction, you know. So we first joined tennis, but tennis didn't work out well because I was really obese as a kid. Okay, I wasn't able to run properly. Then we looked at the other option of swimming. When the first time when they made me enter the water, it wasn't a good experience, to be honest. And same for the first few sessions, but slowly I really started developing a beautiful relationship with the sport of swimming. So I think that's how it started, everything.
Wonderful. I think it has been some 15 odd years since you were been dominating the pool and you have been swimming. How did the journey go on from a kid at 4 and then you made it this far? How was the journey?
The journey was full of ups and downs, to be honest. First, we started training at Coimbatore with my coach, Mr. Haridas, at Perk School. So then, once I started getting a little bit older, by age of 7 or 8, he said I need better coaching. So we moved to Bangalore, and I started training under Coach Padmanabh and Coach Pradeep. So that's where I really started developing the foundations of swimming, and that's where I started performing as a sub-junior and a junior swimmer, the level of state and national level, basically. That's where I started winning medals. Then JSW as an organization identified my talent. So they made me part of their youth development program. So they sent me to South Africa as a part of scholarship, where we would train with the coach of Chadwick Lowe. Chadwick Lowe is one of the best swimmers of all time, as you all know. And also I right now also I'm training in BAC. So the journey has mostly been in Bangalore and South Africa. So yeah, that's the thing.
That's really nice. So you're one of the dreamers who want to swim in the Olympics and bring a medal for India. This year in April, you were supposed to be there for the qualifier to the Olympics, but due to the corona, everything has been postponed. Are you disappointed?
Yes, there will be a slight feeling of disappointment always because you're working towards something and that thing is completely come to a halt. But if you look at the bright side, I do have more time to improve upon my own skills, my own timing. I have a whole year. So I've kept some things in my mind to work on. Basically, the things which I can do outside the pool, how to become a better person outside the pool, the strength aspect, and all those things. So it's one side it's a disappointment, but the other side it really gives me an opportunity to really improve upon the things which I have not had time to work on, basically. So yeah, it's like that.
So you're keeping your hopes very high, and whenever it happens, you're going to have a go at it.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Okay. So when the qualifying event takes place at any time, how confident are you in getting a berth to the Olympics? How close are you with the timings as far as the qualification is concerned?
So my plan is basically to get qualified in the 200 meters individual medley. The A qualification time is a whole 5 seconds away from the time I actually go right now. So it's a lot of time for swimming, to be honest. But the thing is, when it comes to individual medley, it's 4 strokes. It's not like when you're swimming, for example, a 200 meters freestyle, you're just focusing on a single stroke. You have to only improve on that one particular thing. But in individual medley, you have so many things to improve on. You have each stroke to improve on. You have the turns, you have the finishes, you have the strategies. There's so many aspects. So I feel it is easier to improve as a IM event. So I'm also pretty confident that there's a lot of areas to work on, and I'm also pretty confident that reach that level. So yeah,
Let's hope so. I'm wishing that you'll be able to make it.
thank
So
you.
my best wishes to you. Tell us about the encouragement and support you have received to make it this far.
Uh, I really don't know where to start. Basically, I mean, obviously I'll start with my parents because they have done so much for me. We are basically a middle class family. We're not that privileged, but still, they have been supportive in every way possible. My mom has been every day she's committed to make the dietary requirements come to me properly, and my dad is also really helpful in terms of taking me to places, being there for me, talking to me when I'm in my lows, and we also do a lot of goal settings and all those things. So there's a lot of communication my parents, and that's what I think is the main factor to the support uh, as a thing. And I've also had really good circle of friends. So anywhere I go, I've always got really good friends for me to support me, to push me during the workouts, be there for me when times are not good and stuff like that. And also the coaches. I mean, Coach Pradeep has always been there for me. Whenever I've been training with him, he used to pinpoint the things I can work upon, during the competition or things like that. And there are lots of other people. It's not enough time to mention in one single video, but yeah, thankfully, by all good luck, I've been around really good and really positive people around me. So I think that's the
What
reason
have
I'm.
you to say about Jain University, which has a host of international athletes? There's a wonderful sporting culture out there.
I think Jane has been the backbone for my support from the past 2 years. To be honest, they have helped me with all the college work, first of all the teachers and staff and stuff. And when it comes to the sports department, they have helped me a lot in terms of going to different meets. And when I go to different meets, the attendance comes into play, and they help to cope up in that way. And also, they gave me an opportunity to participate in the university nationals, which is, I think, it's a really good meet for me to showcase my talent and stuff. So I remember last time, 2018, when Jane conducted the university nationals, they conducted it really well. Like it was like a proper international meet with all the touch pads and everything. So I think they are elevating sports to a whole new level. So I'm really proud of what Jane is doing.
Very nice. You train at the BAC, which has traditionally produced so many international swimmers. And even now, you are with so many international swimmers as your co-swimmers in that pool. Now, the whole atmosphere is competitive, but still nurturing. So, how is it to be with those elite swimmers and those top coaches? How have you been
So
benefited?
yeah, I mean, it's I'm really blessed to be in a club like Basunguri Aquatic Center. They have really helped me to bring to the top. Basically, there was a phase where the first time I got into the senior badge with Coach Pradeep, and there used to be like, I think there were three Olympians, two Olympians in the batch, and there were like about 20 national champions. And I was this young 14-year-old kid who had to practice with them. So I had a lot to learn from them in terms of how they approach practice, how they approach the hard sets, how they used to talk to the coaches, because communication between the coaches and the swimmers really important. And also I tried to pace with them because I wanted to be like them. They were my role models. Swimmers like Sajan, Gagan, Saurabh, all these guys, Rehan Pauncha, they're all my role models. So I try to be like them, swim as fast as they do, but obviously it was impossible as a 14-year-old kid. But I did learn a lot, to be honest. And then once I came back from South Africa, I was the one of the most senior most swimmers in BAC. But again, this was a different scenario where I had juniors who were facing the same scene as how I was facing when I was 14 years, looking up to me, as a international swimmer. So, but the thing is, BAC culture has always been really strong. We have been developing a lot of international swimmers all around, and it's really nice to be a part of this family. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, a life for an athlete is no bed of roses, especially when he has to take each step of the ladder on the to the top. So even you have mentioned earlier that you had a lot of challenges. Uh, can you mention any of those that you had to face, make it this big?
Actually,
Maybe there were these your financial challenges, your maybe the physical, mental thing. Yeah,
financially, it's still a challenge, to be honest. I've not got any sponsors yet. We're looking forward for that. Maybe sponsorship from a swimming brand. That will come as I go for more international meets and win more medals. So I'm patient for that. But till then, we'll have to manage with the financial support is my parents. My financial support, my parents till then. But the real challenges, I didn't find any financial constraints till now. So that was not the real challenge. Real challenges were the setbacks and the times I really couldn't improve, even though I was practicing every day. Those times were really dark times for me, especially the time when I was in South Africa, where we were sent for an Olympic program, basically to get qualified for 2021. But the thing is, I was going the same times there for 2 continuous years. There was no improvement whatsoever, and there were a lot of aspects. First thing was, I was not that mentally strong to face that South African atmosphere, to be honest. I used to win every time in India, and then I go to an atmosphere where I kept losing continuously a lot of races. So that hit me in my mind. So I think, but the good thing is I learned from it, and I took mind training as a really serious aspect after that. But the other challenge came, like food as a challenge came up, diet as a challenge came up. So a lot of challenges with South Africa. And when I came back to India, one whole year I had to reshape myself. And so yeah, it took a lot of time. I still remember 2018 senior nationals. I missed. I was supposed to get my first senior national medal as a newly come senior. Like I was 18 that time. So I missed the bronze medal by zero point 0.1, which hit me really hard. But then we focused on the things we had to do and not let that setback get to my mind. Then we worked on, and next year, hope by all God's grace, we could win a few medals, senior nationals and international meets. But yeah, there
That's
were
really
a lot
nice.
of setbacks.
Are you supported by any organization or a sponsor who is able to meet your requirements,
As
financial kind of it?
As of now, no. But I was supported by JSW from 2015 to 2017 end, where they helped me travel to different places, to different countries, to participate in different events. And I was also part of the scholarship where I was studying in Glenwood High School, South Africa, where they used to take care of all the expenses and stuff. But as of now, no, I don't have any sponsorship of that sort.
Okay. One day you'll find someone. Okay. Hope so.
Yeah.
Uh, how did you feel when you broke a national record at the South Asian Games to be declared the best Indian in that category in the 200-meter medley? How was the feeling? Was it after you came back from South Africa?
Yeah, it was after I came back. It was 2 years, in fact. After 2 years after I came back from South Africa. This happened in 2019 end, Nepal.
September?
So
Okay, okay.
yeah, so that was in the 200 meters individual medley. Actually, it's a really nice memory for me because I wasn't actually selected for the 200 meters individual medley because Mr. Sajjan Prakash had that place for that event, but unfortunately he couldn't swim that event because he had an injury during the event. So I took his spot up. So I was given that event. So I took it in a very positive way. I've got an extra opportunity, an extra international medal. I still remember the race. It was really nice, but I saw the clock after finishing the race. I saw that I finished second. Okay, but I still broke the India's best. So the first place was backed by Matthew Abe Singh. He's a Sri Lankan swimmer. Uh, he's a he's a total
He's an
beast.
Olympian.
Yeah, he's an Olympian. I really look up to him. He's a really beautiful swimmer. But
Mm.
it was, I think, a gap of half a second. But it was a really good race. I mean, I improved 7 seconds from the time I went in South Africa last time when I swam the 200 meters individual medley. So it was a really tremendous improvement. So I kept that in mind, and I was really elated, to be honest. So yeah, it was
Wonderful.
a really nice feeling.
Coming back from South Africa with so many disappointments, wasn't this performance very elating and lifting?
Yeah, I mean, this is a real confidence booster, to be honest. This is something I've been working for more than 10 to 12 years for this goal of, India's best. I really thought of this as a proper stepping stone to targets like Asian Games or Commonwealth Games, which will come in the upcoming future. So I was really, really happy.
Any other special moments of meeting somebody, some great or some personality, whoever
Um,
maybe?
I I got the opportunity to meet Chadwick Lowe when I was in South Africa. I mean, he's my role model. I always wanted to be like him. He's got that charisma. He's got that sheer attitude, the winning attitude, and he has a really strong mindset. He likes to outwork others, which I really love. Outwork others in the sense he likes to practice better than others, technical aspects and everything. He was really good, and he was also a very humble person outside the pool. So I really looked up to him, and these are the things that really made me a better person too. And
You must have
special
learned a
moment.
lot from him.
Sorry?
Yeah, you must have learned a lot from him.
Yeah, yeah, a lot, tremendously. You know,
Good,
sometimes you
good.
try
You are
to
saying
think
something.
them.
Okay, you are saying something.
No, like I was just saying the special moment when I got a photograph with him first time when I was a 15-year-old kid. I was really happy. That used to be the wallpaper of my phone for some time. Yeah,
Fantastic. Okay.
I really admire him.
Yeah. Do you train mentally before a competition and before the start of a race?
Yes, I do train mentally before a race for a competition. So what we do is basically we follow a technique called visualization, where I think between the heats and finals, I run through the race through my mind once, with the correct aspects of how my underwater should be, how my turn should be, and everything. So it's basically I'm doing the race, but it's in my mind, and I take it in present tense, but it's actually not present tense. So I'm just running the race in my mind, and that really helps me calm down during the race, and I really know what to do when it comes to the event. So that's one technique we use, and I also try to practice a lot of positive affirmations whenever, not only during competition, but it's become a habit. Just talking to people, be positive always, use good words, stuff like that. So those are the two things I really focus on when it comes to mind training.
Very nice. Okay. Can you tell us about your other training regimes? How do you train physically, the physical conditioning part, and what daily routines you follow?
So
How long is your day as far as swimming is concerned? Yeah. Hmm.
it it is completely different from what it is right now during lockdown and what it was before lockdown. But the outside the swimming part, we try to keep it consistent, because once we go into the swimming part, it will be fine. So what we do normally is, in the pool we practice morning and evening, about 2 hours in the pool. So it's 4 hours a day, and we do that 5 times a week. So the Wednesday and Sundays off. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we train 4 hours a day in the water. And I also do things outside the pool. 3 times a week, I do a strength and conditioning session where right now I've gone into lifting weights, doing more of compound lifting and stuff like that, because I see power as an element I need to improve upon. So we have got from light weights and more sessions to more heavier weights and lesser sessions to increase the muscle mass and stuff like that. And also I do yoga. Yoga has always been a part of my training regime for more than 10 years, I think. We do it normally as a recovery session during Wednesday and Sunday. So that's what we typically do. That's what my swimming plan is.
That's really nice. There'll be a lot of pressure representing the country. So much of expectation from the fans, followers, the country, the whole, so much expectation from the coaches, the association. And how do you handle all this pressure, the anxiety, the pre-competitive nerves?
So what I tell myself is, if you don't get anxious, or if you don't feel the pressure for the race, then basically you're not looking at it as your personally as a really important goal for yourself. But nervousness is a bad thing, I really admit that. So what I do to tackle nervousness personally is, 2 3 months before the actual competition, I make sure I work really hard, so that when I get to the competition, I know that I've done the work. Then why do I need to feel nervous in the first place? So what I do normally is, I write my workouts down every day. Like, if I've done this workout in swimming, this workout in gym, I write it down, and I write down what went good that day. For example, I felt really nice in the water. This lap I went really fast, or this lift I did really well, or we increased the weight. Those things I write it down. So then, some 2 3 days before the competition, I have 2 3 months of data already with me, and I look back and I see, like, oh, I've done the work. Then what is the reason for being nervous during the competition? Like, I've done the work, it's just I just need to go there and swim. So that's one thing I really do to tackle nervousness. And obviously, you tend to get nervous even though you do these things, and that time I think breathing is a very important thing. I like to
Yes, yes,
focus on my breath. I like to focus on my
yes,
breath. It's like a little bit of a meditative state where you don't let your thoughts go all the directions, like a horse with blinders and
yes,
stuff like
yes.
that. So you focus on your breathe, let your thoughts, come, slow down and focus. So that's what I do to tackle nervousness.
Very good, very good. So you mean to say you're looking at the positive side, the brighter side of things, always focusing on the positive and what really worked for you. That's a really good
Yes.
way of looking at things. Now we normally call this compare it to the seesaw. You know the seesaw. So when your confidence is high, the fear represented by worry, anxiety, nervousness, pressure goes down. Okay, when you are not prepared well, when you are not putting enough effort for some reason, if your confidence is going low, automatically your pressure, your fear goes up. So
Exactly.
always, when you are well prepared, you're looking at the positive, brighter side of things, confidence is high and the fear is low. That's the way
Yeah.
to look at it. You're going the right
Perfect.
direction. Wonderful. So you told me you are in the fifth semester of your degree in psychology at Jain College. Also, you also wish to pursue sports psychology. Tell me how important is the psyche in sports performance? You already had a taste of it.
Yeah, mind. Psych is the most important thing, to be honest. You have to be mentally strong. The first thing obviously is, if you want to achieve something, if you want to go to that level, you really have to believe in yourself no matter what. I know it sounds very simple, but people actually can't do that, some of them. And only the people who actually believe in themselves really well can reach that state of, maybe an Olympic podium or something like that. And there's this saying that when you go to the Olympics, an Olympic final, when you go to the Olympic final, all the eight swimmers who are there in the Olympic final, they are equally physically skilled, basically. So how do you get to the top? You have to be mentally strong. That's the only way. You know. And one more reason why the mind is very strong is, it's very, very easy to perform when the conditions are all really good. For example, there's perfect weather. Your mind, you're like, you are happy the previous day and stuff like that. But when things go down, for example, there's problems in your family, or you had a fight with your friend, for example, or you haven't been performing for a few years continuously, then when the things are not, I mean, the conditions are not favorable, that's when the psych comes in play. And that time, when you don't have a strong mind, you're literally going to collapse. So I think that's the
Okay.
reason I took psychology as a course, because I didn't want to go for, I really love to take medicine. I actually wanted to take microbiology, but the thing is, I wanted to do something which will really help me in the sport. So I uh, uh, really got interested in psychology, and that's why I took it.
All the best to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, talking about, as you said, no, at the highest level, the mind is very important. They say at the highest level, it is 99% mental, and maybe only 1 or 2% separates you skill-wise and physically. Okay, who is mentally stronger, who is more hopeful, who is more confident, goes on to win the race. So that's very important. And what comes in the way of mental toughness? Why do people can't be mentally tough? What is the most important factor that comes in the way of mental toughness?
The most important factor there are a lot of aspects. I think the most important factor, according to me, is the people who you are around. I know this sounds weird, but trust me, the people who you're around really makes a huge difference. If you're around positive people, you also become a more positive person. the things the things you listen to on an everyday basis, for example, the things what your friends are saying, your parents are saying, or the TV shows that you're watching, everything goes in your subconscious mind, you know and that makes the person who you are. So I really believe that being around positive things, positive people, will make the biggest difference, and that is actually the barrier for most of the people.
Definitely. Okay, you are not with negative people, you are always with positive people. Even then, something can come in the way. What is the opposite of mental toughness? What we easily call as, in common man's language, mental weakness. What is that weakness? That weakness is always giving in to your actual weaknesses, giving into your the negative thoughts, giving into your emotions. If you can
Yes.
handle that, I prepared for the worst, and now a lot of international athletes prepare themselves to face those unexpected situations where something can go wrong, something can go bad. You already mentioned about Michael Phelps when he goggles broke and he slipped and he could you know how that incident, how he won the
Yes.
race through visualization. So now elite athletes also prepare, be mentally prepared to face some of the unexpected situation, facing the worst that can happen. It's not that you're expecting the worst, but
You
you
just
need to be
prepare for
prepared. If something goes wrong, you can't lose your self control over there. So you can't panic. You need to be in self control of yourself as if nothing has happened. So you can also prepare yourself. So if in case something happens, in case the event is postponed, in case the weather has gone bad, in case something that is not that is something out of your comfort zone. As you said, no, if you have to swim in Europe and other things, the weather is very chill out there. So sometimes we don't know what can happen. So
Exactly.
you can be prepared for those circumstances. Okay, very
I
nice.
think I
Uh,
think there the most important thing is to not fall for emotions, like you said, because when
exactly,
emotions come into play, that's when the mind goes in all directions, you know. So I think
definitely.
emotions can,
And there's a reaction. There's a reaction because of negative emotions. Because it is
yes,
a body, on the body also there's a reaction. Okay. Because of that, you can't swim properly. You can't execute properly. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. See, my book is by the name of my book is Success Mantra in Sports. According to me, the mantra for success in sports is starting, you need to have the basic talent. Then you need to practice properly. You can't practice wrong. That in the sense, now we have changed that phrase to perfect practice makes a man perfect. So you need to get the right coach, perfect in the practice in the right way, so that after you're grown old, you can unlearn those mistakes or
Exactly.
wrong techniques. So the next right techniques, improving on your skills, then working hard. Working hard, you repeat the theory of repetition, doing it the same thing every day, working hard, putting in more effort. So then comes your mental toughness. What is mental toughness? You need to be in control of your emotions. You need to be
Exactly.
positive. You need to be focused, control of your emotions. That will give you the success in sports.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. Then, what have you been doing during this 3 months of Corona lockdown period?
This Corona lockdown period has honestly been like a roller coaster ride for me, both physically and emotionally. Obviously, emotionally, I didn't know what to do basically, like how to spend my time. I had too much free time. I don't know if people can relate to this. When you have too much free time, you don't know what to do. But then slowly I started, doing the things which I have to do. For example, work on something which I didn't have time when I didn't have time during swimming. Working on something, But I wanted to do a course on nutrition for a long time, and I got it done. So I did that, and also I'm also developing new habits. Basically, I'm learning more about yoga. I'm taking cold showers. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of videos of Wim Hof. I don't know whether you've heard of him. He's a YouTuber, and he has this really good ideology about cold showers and breathing exercises. So I'm practicing those
Yeah,
too. Also,
yeah.
we are practicing new forms of diet. We are experimenting with new forms of diet, because this is the time I really believe you can do such things you can't do during practice. Like, for example, ketogenic diet, where you don't eat any carbs and eat only proteins and fat. Obviously, I'm vegetarian, so it's hard, but we still tried it. We are trying different things. We are trying detoxification, where they're basically removing all the toxins of the body through different things. Liquid detoxification. We do that foot dip on the hot water with Epsom salt. We are trying a lot of different, even aromatherapy. We got a new oil diffuser. We are practicing aromatherapy and all those things. Also, I have been attending this coaches workshop they've been having with the Swimming Federation of India, which was really interesting. So yeah, that's how I've been spending my time, and also obviously watching TV and connecting to my friends. So yeah, that's what I've been doing during lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, yes. You mentioned about two important things. One was meditation, which you learned in this thing. Meditation is very important. There are lots of advantages with meditation that will help you as an athlete. The second was breathing exercise. It's the most important thing. So what happens when you are very anxious or because before the race there is a bit of anxiety. A bit of anxiety is good because it's called as useful stress. Okay, too much you know what will happen, but
But
still anxiety should be there because that means you're bodily and mentally prepared for the event. You can't be apathetic, hello, as well, I don't care. But you because you're serious about the competition. That's good actually because it raises your intensity. Okay, then it prepares you to go into the pool and give your best because swimming is a burst of energy. It's not like any other sport where you can maintain, be calm throughout. It's not like that. You have to get in the pool and your energy has to burst and speed has to go fast. That's the way. So deep breathing actually what can you do during nervous and anxious moments? Okay, you don't have much time. Change your mindset and take deep breaths. Changing your mindset will prevent your mind going astray, going becoming too anxious and becoming too negative, going into that fear mode. It will bring you back to the present, make you more focused. So that's what positive thinking does to you. But still, because of anxiety, your body might have tensed up a little bit. Your muscles might have tensed up. So deep breathing takes care of that. When you take a deep breath, you send a lot of oxygen to the brain, and the brain functions at its optimum. And when the
Yes.
brain gets enough energy, the oxygen supply to the muscles also happen in a rapid manner, so that the muscles relax faster. So the only two things you can do. So deep breathing. Do you do abdominal breathing using
Yes,
your
sir. We do
abdomen?
abdomen. Yes, abdominal belly breathing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Belly breathing, exactly. And we do rhythmic breathing. That's what we call it the roller coaster wave method. Four inhalations, one or two holding the breath for two counts, then five, six counts exhalation.
Yes.
That's what we call rhythmic breathing. That's wonderful. Anything. Pranayama also you can practice. It's similar to rhythmic breathing. So these are all
Yes.
very, very important. Any Before any execution, if you take deep breaths, you will be aware of what you're doing, you'll be mindful, and your muscles will be not very cold, but still flexible and relaxed. If your muscles are tight and tense, you will not be execute smoothly. So before doing anything special, where it's a nervous moment, where the challenge is higher than your, I think those moments are very nervous. Sometimes before giving a speech, before presenting something before the boss or anything of that sort. These are the moments before which you need to take a deep breath. Not one, at least five. So you will be back to your normal, be more confident, and you will be able to think properly, and you can execute and do whatever you want. So we don't have any other participant to go in for a question answer session. Anyways, we had a very good interactive session, Siva.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for taking part in this talk show. I wish you all the very best. I
Thank you, sir.
hope you qualify for the Olympics and go on and bring a medal to the country. So I
Thank
wish
you.
you all the best for the future endeavors.
Thank you so
Okay,
much, sir.
we'll keep meeting. Yes. Hope we'll keep meeting again and again.
Sure,
Hope we
sir.
see you
Sure.
soon. Okay.
Anytime.
Wonderful. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.